Hi, welcome to this lesson where we'll be learning how to find suitable images for our Scribe. First of all, we'll be looking at images in the library and the different styles that are available, including our premium images which have been created specifically for VideoScribe by independent artists. Then in the next lesson, we'll be looking at how you can import your own images. Okay, so far we've set the background colour and added this background image. We've also set the default hand and added a music track and a voiceover. Now it's time to find some suitable images to use in our project. So let's start by opening up the library. One way to find the images you need is to have a look through these image folders. Arrows are always useful in Scribe videos as they help guide your audience through your story. And we have loads of different types of arrows in here, and you can easily change the colours of these too, as we'll see later. And you can see a whole list of other categories down here. Images of people are also very popular for telling stories, and we have a wide range of characters in this folder. But you'll also find people in a lot of the other folders, for example under education or business. And if we scroll along here, we'll also find all sorts of useful images in this category, covering stationery, furniture, and loads of other related objects. But sometimes you need to express an idea or a concept, like happy or confused. So we have some very useful images in the Concepts and Metaphors folder here. These cover things like time, finance, planning, building, and so on. We've also got more people under home and family here. And another really useful folder is shapes. Here you can find lots of different shapes in several styles, including 3D shapes. Again, you can change the colour of all of these, and there are lots of situations where these can be really handy, which we'll get into later. Okay, looking at my storyboard, I can see that the first image I need is a person running. So let's take a look in the sports folder. Here we can see things like athletics, swimming, cycling, soccer, and so on. And again we have people as well as items. So I'm going to jump back to the runners we saw on the first page by typing in a 1 here. Notice that each image is available in two separate styles, full colour and the highlight whiteboard style which we used in the first project. I'm going to use this runner here, and I'm going to be using the full colour versions of the images for this project. So there's my first image, which I'm going to resize, and I'm going to make sure I'm starting at 100% zoom before I place it over here, like in my storyboard. Normally I'd start to think about setting the camera for each element as I add them, but as we'll be covering that in the next section of the course, I'll leave this until then. Next I'd like to add some type of outdoor scene. So I can either look in the scenery folder like we did before, or I can use the search. Searching is really powerful as it will find images from across the complete library. So if I'd used the search to find the running figure I used, I could have started by typing in person. On its own, this brings up way too many images to look through. So I could refine this if I add running. And in this case, I'm looking for a single person, so I can select number of people, 1. And there we go, there's the one I chose. Okay, so next I want to find my outdoor scene. So this time I'm going to type scene. And you can see we have a range of images here. If I click the option here, we'll be able to see the premium images that are available. So these are images added by independent artists. We vet all these images before they're allowed to appear in VideoScribe to make sure they look good and draw well. But you can see that these give you other options in terms of the style of image you use for your project. This red banner indicates that you will need to pay for the image. A green banner means that they are being offered for free. You can see the information about the image if you select one, including the artist and the price, and you can preview the image before you buy it. Okay, in my case I'm going to stick with the standard library images, and I'm looking for a colour image. Here we go. I think I like the look of this one. So at this stage I want to quickly talk about layers. As you add new elements to your project, as well as being in a particular order here in the timeline, they are also layered in the same order on the canvas. This makes sense. As you add more images, you always want them to be drawn on top of anything that's already on the canvas. If I wanted to have this scene drawn first and then draw the runner on top of it, I would need to change the order of the timeline. Now you can see that the runner is on top. And this does look great, but in my case I want the runner to appear first. So I'm going to swap these back here. And I want to have the bridge positioned over here like this. So now it looks like he's maybe about to run across the bridge there. Okay, so that's quite a nice healthy looking scene to start our Healthy Living Scribe with. And that's it for this lesson. We've learnt how to use the library to find images, including premium images. In the next lesson, I'll be showing you how you can import your own images.